Okay, EAL team, I'm trying something new. I have just spent this afternoon sorting out all of the EAL resources and everything that we discussed in the meeting, but rather than me putting it in an email, I thought it'd be so much easier if I just showed you via video. Then if you've got any questions, you can ask me. So I know that we had a conversation around where everything was going to be kept. And what I've discovered, or at least in the interim, I'm setting up a little base in the reading room with resources and things and a box with stationery and things, just simply because we've got the space and I've actually got the kind of tubs and stuff that helps organise all of it until we get approval on budget and we can buy certain things. So I know this isn't going to necessarily work for the long term in terms of junior campers versus senior campers, but what I'm hoping will be able to happen is that if there's a communication between you, Kate, and Wendy, you can maybe organise for the stationery tub to be left over at junior campers or whatever might work. So let me show you everything, and then if we need to come up with a different solution, then we totally can. But at least for now, this is what I've got organised. Okay, so I've set up a little corner in the reading room. It's just when you walk in, it's just over here. And I've set up a few different bits and pieces, so I'll go through it very quickly. The first thing is that I've set up this tub here, this white tub, which says EAL very conveniently. And inside here, I've organised a whole stack of things. So firstly, you've got lined paper in different sizes. You've got mini whiteboards, scissors, like alphabet cards. And then I've gone through a whole bunch of things. So you've got some sentence starters. This is all your stuff. Circle time cards, writing pencils for both sizes, whiteboard markers, glue, tokens, sharpeners, a whole thing of like coloured pencils, rubbers and textures. So hopefully all of your stationery needs are sorted in there. And then what I've done, just because I thought it might be a little bit convenient, is next to it I've got these two little baskets. So if you know what you're already doing in your session, maybe you just take whichever snap lock bags or whatever you want in here, which prevents you from having to take the whole tub. Then moving on over here is our EAL trolley. So I'll start with just the mechanical kind of stuff. So over on this side here, I've actually got in scrapbooks, I've got a whole stack of these scrapbooks, which may be helpful or may not be helpful, but I just had a whole stack in my classroom. So if you want to give each kid a book, they're blank, but there's a lot of worksheet stuff that you could stick in there. So I thought that could be quite handy. You've then got junior years dotted thirds and middle years dotted thirds. I think that's all in terms of, and in miscellaneous, I'll go through these worksheets in a tick, but at the very bottom of the miscellaneous thing are all the masters for all the worksheets that I'm about to show you, just in the event that you happen to not copy the last one that you have. So moving on to worksheets, I've used a couple of the books, which I'll show you in a tick, but I've essentially just photocopied books that we've had, and then I've separated all of the worksheets into different categories. So we've got nouns, verbs, sight words, plurals, adjectives, and then a miscellaneous one down here. All of these, or most of these worksheets, come from this pile of folders here and this one here. So if you look at the trolley, these two piles here are where you can get other ideas. So for example, I know that we don't have many noun worksheets, and we've got a lot of verbs, and verbs, we've got tenses, we've got, a whole range of different things in there. Adjectives are a little light as well, so I can definitely make sure that we can get, if you're thinking you need some more, have a look in these two piles, more specifically this grammar book. Actually, no, that's a different one. This one in here is quite good as well. So I've done those ones. These comprehension puzzles are just for really high level, kind of towards the end of EAL. And then down here in miscellaneous, because I just wasn't too sure where to put it, I found this really great book that's around school and class language. So it would definitely be, I would say that this tub miscellaneous, we can come up with another name later, but I would say that these worksheets would be really good for anybody who's come in at a higher year level as EAL. It deals a lot with like classroom language and schoolyard language. Then up here, we've got some other board games. So here we've got some family tree, phonic, speaking and listening based stuff. And then here are the matching words and pictures, the advanced rhyming bingo, and verbs at work. That's the one that Wendy really liked. That's the one with the magnetic board to deal with verbs. So there's not everything there at this stage, but at least it's all kind of sorted. And what I envisage is that you guys will come down having had a little bit of a think about what your lesson might be, and maybe you grab a few worksheets. And then if we just agree that the rule is if you finish with a worksheet, maybe to top it up or reel off a couple more in each of these here. So let's take the plural one, for example. In the plural tab, I've put plastic pockets, and that's for all the different activities. So you've got 1, 2, 3, like there's probably 7 different sets of activities. And then in each plastic pocket, there's 5 or 6 copies of it. So you can either take the pocket or you can take the thingo. And basically, if you guys notice that we need, I mean, obviously I can get 2 extra tubs. Kate, I think this is your stuff down here. If you think of any other things, and we can use this trolley here as well to really bulk up the resources, or if you come across anything really great, by all means photocopy it and put it somewhere so then others can use it. God, this lighting's atrocious. So if you think that, if there's anything that you can think of that we need to add to it, then please let us know. Gemma and we've looked at the Smart Kids, I think Smart Kids website, to find some more board games, so we're really hoping to top that up. And if you guys have any resources that you think we can add here, then that would be awesome. I'm going to keep searching around for different games that I know are around the school, and I'm just going to keep adding to that. So, Kate, I know that you typically operate here, and Wendy and Em, you're over the road. So it would take a little bit of coordination, but just for now, if we just use this as a base where we can come and collect things or grab things, then that would be really good. And as we've discussed, we are going to create folders for kids. So then their checklist, like display folders for each individual EAL student. So then that can be something that can either live over here in a tub somewhere or somewhere else in the reading room, or we can have it so it lives on, in their classroom with their teachers, so we know that we've already always got it. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful and it can give you a bit of a start into term 3, and ideally we'll have this all kind of at least a little EAL station sorted for, the role moving forward. Happy EALing!